abdominal cramping, bloating, maybe your abdomen, your belly feels like it's twisting. It doesn't feel good. It hurts, but also nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, even fever. All of these and potentially more are symptoms of food poisoning, which is not fun, my friends. I'm going to tell you how long food poisoning lasts, but let me first start by telling you how long it takes to set in. If you're watching this video, you might just have eaten something and you might be wondering if you have food poisoning. Now, it doesn't have to be the situation, but if you are, let me tell you, sometimes it can be hard to tell because food poisoning, based on what you ate and the bug that's causing the illness, food poisoning can set in anywhere between some hours after eating the food to days after you've eaten the food. So sometimes it can be hard to tell. Now, there are certain foods and things that predispose us to food poisoning. Let me remind us of those, okay? Unpasteurized milk, I have a whole video on that. Nah, that should be a no-no because there's lots of bugs in there. It can make you sick, give you food poisoning. Also, raw meat, raw poultry, undercooked meat, undercooked poultry, raw eggs, undercooked eggs. All of those can put you at risk for food poisoning. We don't want that either, okay? There are other foods that can do it as well, but those are some main ones. Now, let me tell you some of the bugs that can cause food poisoning, because there's a number of them. And oftentimes we don't always know what it is, but things like staph, okay? Staph bugs, Vibrio, Salmonella, Norovirus, Campylobacter. I know you've heard of some of those things. And how long your food poisoning lasts, a lot of it's going to depend on the bug that you get, also your underlying conditions, your medications you're on, all sorts of stuff. Now, before I tell you how long food poisoning lasts, let me also tell you some of the sort of more severe signs and symptoms, because I really want you to know this. I told you about the most common, the nausea, vomiting, fever, perhaps chills, stomach pains, etc. But the next few things are signs of a severe case of food poisoning, things like bloody diarrhea. Bloody diarrhea, by the way, don't just assume it's food poisoning. Bloody diarrhea, I never, ever, ever, ever like. Bloody stools, I never, ever, ever, ever like. You need to be seeing your healthcare provider ASAP. But bloody diarrhea can be a sign of severe food poisoning. Also, diarrhea that lasts for greater than 3 days. I worry about that. I start saying, okay, what is going on here? What could this be? High fever, we're talking high for a long period of time, or just high, or just a long period of time. Any of those makes me concerned. Vomiting to the point where you can't keep anything down, that is a problem as well, because what are we concerned about? We're concerned about this no matter what, which is dehydration. We're concerned no matter what, but especially if you're vomiting so much that you can't keep things down. I would also argue that having diarrhea so much as well can predispose you to dehydration, which can make you feel dizzy, lightheadedness, make you get a dry mouth, make you feel thirsty. To be honest with you, sometimes when symptoms are super severe, it's not just something you can treat at home, okay? You need to be in the hospital if some of these things are happening, let me tell you, okay? Treatment. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. How long does food poisoning last? I'm going to tell you that, but I needed to tell you this other stuff first to let you know what goes into determining how long it lasts. Treatment oftentimes is fluids. We need you to make sure you're drinking fluids, but sometimes we give nausea medications. Sometimes you might need antibiotics. Sometimes you just need the hospital, okay? Now, how long does food poisoning last? How long food poisoning lasts really is determined by the bacteria or bug that is making you sick, your underlying conditions, meaning there are some people that are at higher risk. If you are a young child, if you are a pregnant woman, if you are an older adult, if you have certain underlying medical conditions, okay? By the way, if you're pregnant, you should let your healthcare provider know anytime you think that you have food poisoning, vomiting, diarrhea. It's super important, okay? So it depends on the bug you have, your underlying conditions. It depends on your immune system, how strong it is, how much of the bug, how toxic it is, all sorts of things. So how long food poisoning lasts depends on those things and really ranges anywhere from, I would say, a few days to potentially a week or longer. Okay. And all of those variables I mentioned go into determining how long it lasts. I mean, sometimes people get over food poisoning in like 24, 48 hours. Some people it's closer to 3 days. Some people it's closer to a week or longer. Okay. And so that's why you need to understand that your recovery is going to be dependent on all of these things. However, don't forget what I said. If you have any of the severe symptoms, the bloody diarrhea, the extreme vomiting, extreme diarrhea, you got a high fever, diarrhea lasts for over 3 days, et cetera, you need to be seeking medical care. Okay, that is super important. Now, just a quick word about prevention because I want you to know this. All right, we talked about not eating raw meats and eggs and undercooked stuff. Get yourself a food thermometer, please, to make sure that you're cooking meats to the appropriate temperature. That's really important. Make sure that when you're dealing with raw meat, you're keeping it fully separated from other foods, fruits and vegetables, okay, so that you're not cross-contaminating foods and making yourself sick that way. Make sure that you're washing cutting boards, you're keeping things very sanitary in the kitchen. That's going to help as well. Obviously, make sure you're washing your dishes. We talked about that. But fruits, make sure you're washing fruits and veggies, okay? Fruits and veggies often have a lot of gunk on them. Please wash them before you consume this. This is really important. Make sure you are washing your hands. I think sometimes we forget about this. And make sure that you're refrigerating your food properly. Storage is a big, big deal because if you don't store your food properly, or you let it sit out too long, or you eat it after too many days, or after too much time has gone by, you're going to put yourself at risk for food poisoning. There are plenty of other tips as well. I'll make sure I link other videos here that will help you out. But remember that if you have anything going on with your body, even if you think it's food poisoning, but something doesn't seem right, please, please, please see your doctor. And let me just mention one more thing. I think this is important. You know, the reason why I always say see your doctor if something doesn't seem right or symptoms are severe, the reason why, and got a little sniffle, the reason why is because some cases of food poisoning can actually lead to very severe illness, actually can cause damage. I would say many cases of food poisoning will go away and you'll be like, okay, well, that was tough, but I got through it. There are some cases of food poisoning, though, that can lead to major problems, such as a condition called HUS, hemolytic uremic syndrome. Bad news there, okay? Pretty potentially dangerous. Also, kidney failure or kidney damage, arthritis, meningitis, okay? That's an infection of the brain, spinal cord, nerve problems, etc. Remember, sometimes food poisoning can be outright dangerous just beyond the nausea, vomiting, etc., which is why I'm trying to tell you to be vigilant and vigilant. Pay attention to your symptoms. Consult your doctor if something doesn't seem right. And also follow those prevention tips that I gave you because I do think it's going to, no, I know it's going to help you. My gosh, like hand washing and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, when we wash our hands, please, let's make sure we wash our hands for at least 20 seconds. That's singing the happy birthday song twice, okay? Let me know if you've ever had food poisoning. Tell me what it was like. Like, what were your symptoms? You know what you got food poisoning from. Have you learned a lesson that you can share with the rest of us? Please write in the comments. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, on-air health expert, and video creator. I do daily videos. That's right, on all sorts of stuff. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel to make sure that you get these videos. Also, follow me on Facebook. I'm there. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, etc. Everywhere. Follow me there. And I also have a free weekly health newsletter that goes out every single week, drjencaudle.com. Make sure that you sign up for that so you can get that in your inbox. Guys, hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments. Share this video with others. Love you.